I'm stuck and I want to bring you along the ride with me to get unstuck. My name is Aaron Prinz. If it's the first time you're watching my videos, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I record a bunch of videos over the past few weeks about Paperclip AI, how to set it up, how to use it in your business, and I gained some traction. Thank you to Dota for shouting me out here on Twitter. Apparently I am the guy to follow for normies to set up Paperclip. So that's something. Thank you. I wanted to take you along with me here because, again, I'm stuck. And why? Throughout my video series, I've been using the project that you see on screen right now, which is the traffic exchange script. That has grown way out of proportion in a way too short amount of time, to where now I'm starting to get emails from customers, not customers, but leads trying to demo, and the demo is not working. While Paperclip was supposed to set that up for me. So yeah, it's a wild ride because I didn't really do a lot to it. I just had it run in the background, and yes, this is where we are. So I all of a sudden realized too that I'm stuck in my own business in terms of growth, right? I can only do so much and only know so much. And now it's time to push forward. And again, I want to take you with me, because I have a couple show notes here on my phone, but the title of this video is something along the lines of, I'm stuck, beware of do as I do with Paperclip. That's exactly what I've just explained, I guess, is that I only know so much, right? And if I teach Paperclip or ask Paperclip to do what I do, then it's gonna stop there and not be able to grow further. So that comes down to a bit of trust between your agents, like the way you configure and build your agents, and just having them go. So what I've been doing already, which I'm not really going to dive into, but I've hired a head of SEO. Should be here somewhere. Here he is. And they're actually there. They're looking into building backlinks for the traffic exchange script domain automatically, like slowly, not like bumping too much, but having SEO handle that. I would seriously, in my real business, I would hire a team to do that for me. But now I thought, hey, let's just ask Paperclip, show them what to do, what my team used to do based on the reports that they used to send me. And then, hey, can you do that for me? And then it gave me a plan, and we tweaked it a little bit, and then yeah, it's now going out on my other screen here, which is fascinating. Sometimes I just see the Chrome tester popping up, and it's like it's submitting the project to relevant sites, right, where I would want backlinks from. So that's really cool, which is the sort of the first tip and trick maybe I want to show you or give you in this video. Is I already have a few things open, but I want to do this too. Is the SawyerHood dev browser. This thing right here is a make or break in my business right now. He recently released a CLI version of that, so that Claude and Codex and all the other CLIs can work with it. But it allows the agent to verify its own work in the browser. So it's cool that it writes tests for you, maybe, or code. And but then you go in, right, and you go in and check and say, oh, this needs to be on the other side, and I need this functionality, and I need categories, and whatever it is that you're building. But this, if your PRD, your vision, your product requirement document is detailed enough, you can actually instruct it to go back and verify the work it did. It takes screenshots. It looks at the code of the HTML of the page to the console log to find errors. So as part of your process, have it check itself. If I go to my X really quick, as you can see, /Aaron Prince, give me a follow if you can find me there. Let's see, this one was a major unlock, in comparison or in combination with SawyerHood's, dev browser CLI. The prompt is, I've never done a full end-to-end test of all the functions and functionality. Rate the agent, use the orchestration and agent spawning method for the conversation. So all that is I run Claude, and for every single task or every little thing it does, it spawns a sub agent that keeps the main conversation clean, and just keeps on spawning agents where now, especially with Claude's 1 million context window, it can go on for, I've had it run for 4 hours, just testing itself and fixing bugs. Because the trick is, I want the whole thing tested using the dev browser, never use the API, because this MF is sneaky. Because what it does is it finds out in your code base that you have perhaps, hopefully, an API built in to interface with it later. And then it goes, oh, there's an API. Let me see how the code works. Let me generate it and inject it via the API. Well, that's not what I want in my case, right? I wanted to actually use the dev browser so the UI UX is tested. So that's still so fascinating AI stuff. But you will run into little, if we go back to the prompt, you will run into little bugs, issues, etc., which I want you to list and then fix for me, and then list how you did it in a working, living docs bugs file. So I have it write a markdown file to my documents/bugs folder, and then it uses that as its source of truth. So it adds the bugs it finds. It knows to go back there and look for bugs to fix. So in the end, after 3-4 hours, I ask it to test a certain section of my code base, and that didn't work while I was testing it. So I fed it this, and it's like, okay, go ahead and test this and fix this for me. I come back 3-4 hours and it's flawless. So this is a really already big giveaway to video. Like, subscribe, and comment. No, I'm messing with you guys. I don't. But that's a really good one to put in your work loop. But now it's like I'm getting stuck at the point where the product is developed, right? The traffic exchange script, the other few ones that I'm running and planning on running. The product is built, but now what, right? How do we get it out there and actually start making sales? So rather than me waiting for leads and traffic and SEO to come in, I want the company to be proactive. So first of all, one of the things for a script, right? A product that I'm building, in my case, I'm running into a release cycle, right? I had it fully tested using the dev browser, the CLI, and all that stuff. Claude Code did that fully autonomously for me, emailed me a report, because another thing I wanted to share with you here, I'm using the GOG CLI, gogcli.sh. Highly recommend you set this up on your desktop. Create a new Gmail account that you never used and will never share. So that's very important. Never share the Gmail account, because if it leaks, someone has an entry into your process, because it can email and ask questions to it. Connect that and have you be the only CEO, or the only thing the CEO communicates with. So everything flows to the CEO, and then the CEO emails you. You can communicate through there, delegate through there, wherever you are, as long as your Paperclip is running. Release cycle. So I got an email saying from my CM or my CRM, hey, someone is trying traffic exchange script. I'm like, him again. Like, we haven't, this has been the game for me, right? But now it's getting serious. So I had to configure some stuff so that email started working. And it's like, wait, if that person buys, I didn't configure WooCommerce. I'm using WordPress and WooCommerce. WooCommerce it doesn't have a release yet. Now I need to go do a release. I don't want to do a release. I don't want to be bothered with like checking everything and the whole release cycle process thing. Hey, Paperclip. So I sent an email to my CEO, because I had the GOG CLI set up. And I said, hey, I fixed the email thing, but we're getting people interested. Now what? And he's like, yeah, I got it. And here we go. I delegated an issue to the founding engineer, and it actually navigated to the repo. It did the whole Git archive. Apparently, that's what it's instructed. That's what the CEO instructed the founding engineer to do. And it did. And then it was also clever enough. I didn't specifically ask that. I didn't specifically ask it to, let's see, heartbeat, yada, yada. On the side here, it's making backlinks for me for the same project. That's funny. WordPress developer. Zip is already confirmed. WooCommerce downloadable setup. It automatically knew, like, hey, we're in this project because of the history, because of the way agents work in Paperclip, because that's just how Paperclip like natively works. It's like, wait, we're doing this on WooCommerce, right? All right, so I have to add these as downloads to the product, and here it is. This is the actual live site that my Claude has access to, which I'll get to in a second. And it actually went in there, used the WordPress CLI on the server, and modified the product to be a downloadable product, and to now have the download ready. So now when someone buys, they instantly get the product delivered. So in theory, so to speak, the cycle is done. Like, this is it. This is like the full end-to-end product that is now actually available for sale. Don't get me wrong, right? If someone was to purchase this way before, like on a whim, and I got really lucky, so to speak, I would have immediately jumped on my desk and just created a release for them, delivered the product, make them happy. And then I would have delegated this, but I just saw leads coming. I was like, wait, I need to be sort of ahead on this. Let's see. It's making that thing. Yeah, it's having issues with the backlink is running on the side. This is funny on video, right? It's generating the backlink, but it's doing it in the Chrome for Google Chrome for testing browser, and I think it's having issues with Cloudflare because it won't verify. It says always like it's verify you're human, and then it says verification failed, probably because it's that browser. Let's see, head of SEO. Let's pause this guy for now. So anyways, where were we? Create zip release. So that is how it created the release. Now, I was talking about Claude having access to my VPS. I think it is really important. Two things here is you need to give your Paperclip. So first of all, Paperclip harnesses Claude. It harnesses Codex. It harnesses Open Router or Open Code. My apologies. I think it's Open Code. If we look at my CEO instructions, configuration, let's see, Claude, here we go. So it harnesses either of these, yes? And what this does, and which is also the genius of Dota here, is that it uses the CLI like the terminal as you would, which prevents issues with sharing tokens and API keys and all that mumbo jumbo. So you're safe with using this. But whatever you give Claude in the terminal, so forget about Paperclip for just a second. If you give a skill to Claude, Paperclip can use it. An agent in Paperclip can use it. If you give Claude an MCP, Paperclip can use it, as long as you instruct the Paperclip agent to use it, whatever it is, whether it's the command line thingamajig, or if it's, like I said, a skill on MCP server, Paperclip can use it. That is why the GOG CLI works for me. That is why the skills that I have, and I have it in previous videos mentioned, I give my company specific skills for that company, adjusted for that company. And I instruct the agents, or have the CEO instruct the agents to use those specific skills to use them while generating blog posts, while doing marketing. So it is always in the same tone of voice, like it's an actual business, right? Going off script here a little bit, but there's a lot of cogs in the cog wheel here to get it all running smoothly and properly, which is also why I'm stuck, because I have the company at a point now where I would be, like if I were to actually, like 10 years ago, I would build the product, I'd build the sales page, I would write the terms of service, I'd write I would set up WooCommerce, I would add the product, I would configure the product, I would add the download, build the whole release myself, do all the SEO and stuff. Like there's a whole slew of things that I would do, which is now where it's at. So now the question is, what would I do next? And I'm going to discuss with my CEO. I have no clue yet what I am doing, and probably in a later video, subscribe. Maybe in a later video, I will share that. I will share what I've done wherever I can. But again, cycling back real quick, it's all about giving your Claude and Paperclip, or Codex and Paperclip, whatever you use, access to the minimum amount of stuff it needs to run. I had a comment on a previous video, do you use OpenClaw? I do not use OpenClaw for the simple reason I tried to install it once on a Hetzner VPS, and it nuked itself twice. I asked it to update itself or change a model or whatever, and it just stopped replying. And then I've seen the same thing happen to other people too. I wasn't able to fix it, and because this is my full-time job, right? I don't really have the time yet to just keep on trying, and Paperclip worked out of the box. So that's why I'm going all in on Paperclip, because it actually runs the company for me on every single level. Right now, it does. Now it'll run releases for me. It's already instructed and has all the resources it needs to actually run support for me in my support center. I have a support center that has an API, and the head of support has the API key, the API endpoint, and can actually just check, hey, is there a new ticket? I've already tested this through numerous instances, and it actually gives me the right answer. And as if I act as a customer, it helps me move forward to be able to use the product that I bought from Aaron, right? So, but the minimum amount of access to do the most amount of things. So I have a VPS set up now where it has access to. It can do anything it wants. That's why it was able to set up the live demo for me, wire everything up. But it's actually like I'm in the trenches using it in my actual business a lot. So again, it has access to my VPS. It has a dedicated email address. Honestly, I think that's it. It has connection to my GitHub to be able to push and merge and do all that stuff. And again, it's also a level of trust, right? Like, what do you want the agent to do? I trust it by now to the point where I could just say, I quickly check a PR, and I know if it's right or wrong. I just merge it, and I'll see whatever comes up. If a customer emails, support will pick it up, and should be triggering the CEO, thus the founding engineer, to fix the bug, push that, merge that, do another release. And like, that's the whole cycle that I'm going for. So ideally VPS. And what I wanted to talk about really quick was my Playbook. I have a separate video for that, but I want to cover it here too. If you want to kickstart that whole setup I just discussed, it is available for free on my GitHub. I'll put a link somewhere in the description probably, but go to github.com/AaronPrinz, and it is, it should be on my profile. Oh, let's not go there. Let's see. I believe it's on my profile. Here we go. Paperclip Playbook, which is basically a package that I'm going to be using myself, right? I thought, why not share it? With templates for the CEO, for company, and for worker agents, with default templates, how they should work, what the core principle is, verification, etc. Read through this. Highly recommend you do. And how it's supposed to work, and like I try to get it not to drift too much. I was actually having a interesting convo with Doda yesterday on, or not a convo, but a couple of responses here and there. Yeah, about how we keep them on track, right? What he does, which is very clever, is he opens an issue and asks it to do a slew of things, which is what I do too. I do it not directly via issues. I do it via email because that's just more natural to me. But what I do is I check the previous day's work. I then verify it's all working, what is and what isn't, and then I basically email a rant back, which I do via handy.computer. Go to handy.computer in your browser. It's a free version, literally a free version of WhisperFlow. I love this. This is almost on par with WhisperFlow in terms of quality. And you can set the same key shortcut, the FN key on Macs. And I just rant to it. I say, and I keep the thing pushed down, and I just rant, and I go through all the work it did the day before, and then I come up with new things, and I want them to do that, and yeah, Like I just send that off that email. Thing is, though, it skips. Like I said, what he says, right, is you create the issue with multiple things to do, and then you just shoot that off, and it pretty much automatically delegates that. But I replied to yes, but how do you keep them on track? I find myself repeating tasks sometimes because they seem to get left behind or cherry pick what they want to do. It's really fascinating sometimes to see how the AI works. It's the same thing what I said earlier with the API, right? It finds the shortcut. It finds the shortcut to be lazy, which is genius to me. But I don't want it to do that, obviously. So that's the whole thing. But anyways, the playbook, go check that out. Go see if you can use that. What I do is I just set up a new company in Paperclip the way Paperclip wants me to do it. You can ask it to do that founding engineer on the initial setup, and then I command via VS Code into the working folder, and then I also put my playbook zip in there, and I say, hey, analyze the playbook, analyze the company how it is right now, and update the CEO and the agents to use the formats as found in the playbook. And Claude, I'm sure Codex will do it too, but Claude will just do that for me, and I don't even have to bother with it. What else did I want to cover in this video? Blah, 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 blah. Once it does that out of the box. Yeah, I mean, then once it's up to par with the project where you want it to be, then it's a matter and a question of what's next. How can it help you grow your business and do more than what you do? Right now with the traffic exchange script, I'm at the point where it's doing support for me. As you can see in the projects here in the sidebar, it's a support for me. It does email marketing, SEO, traffic analysis, sales outreach, which I'm kind of tricky about. For now, I'm going to be doing that for sure, because I want my product to be really good before I actually reach out to people, give them a free license, and say, hey, test this out. Let me know what you think. Perhaps talk about it, write about it. It's doing directory submissions, buyer delivery. It's just the head of support is also doing documentation. It's checking my support. So basically, this is starting to become a well-oiled machine, to the point where now I have another one which is almost at that point, and then the third one is actually still building the entire product for me. So I had a very clear vision of what I wanted to do. It's somewhere in all my earlier videos as well. It's a Dutch company thing about EV chargers. But it's still building that whole process for me, what I have in mind. And then once it's done, it's going through the whole cycle again of getting it up to par. And I think that if I summarize the traffic exchange script, the second one, so to speak, and then have that summarize that and then build that into the third one, I think it can pick that up perfectly too. And then I have 3 companies or 3 projects running on autopilot with Paperclip. So, yeah, I think that is it for my rant for today. It's always funny. I export these as paper. You can see it here on my desktop. It's called Paperclip Rant. This is going to be Paperclip Rant number 5. I really appreciate all of the feedback you've given me. It really means the world. I've had some really nice comments from people, and I really appreciate that. I hope these help. If you have any questions, I'm not joking. Send me a message on X. Comment below, especially because of the algorithm. But comment below, ask your questions. I'll happily answer whatever I can. And if you want to have it actually applied in your business specifically to you, then just send me a message on X. I'll see. I'm not going to be gating too much. I'll be happy to help a little bit. Or we can do some consultancy and see, how it applies specifically in your business, right? But I want to be kind of low key. I was talking to Amit, Control-Alt-Delete in the Discord group. Highly recommend you check out his videos too. And it was funny because he was asking about like the model behind this. I'm like, there's no model. It's just fun. It's just for shits and giggles. So again, I appreciate you reaching out, or not reaching out, but I appreciate you watching this video. Reach out if you have any questions or for whatever. I'm always up to have a little chat. It's Sunday, so yeah, the week's ahead. Go use Paperclip. see how it can fit in your business, see what it can do, how it can help. If you have a actual business that you run, see how it can help your existing teams, right? If you have a deaf person in-house, have a chat with them, see if they can run Paperclip, and then come back to you and say, hey, how can we put this into business? Because it either runs for solopreneurs, or I do this with my wife, but we are solopreneurs. We're a two-man band. But if you're a one-man band, like this is an unlock, and I highly recommend you look into it. That's it for now. Like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Talk soon. Peace.